for your starters and your mains, please tick on the menu card as well. The ushers will go around and pick those up from you as we progress. The point of that is obviously to ensure that at the end of the event there'll be lunch, and obviously ensure that lunch is ready in advance. So thank you very much for that as well. And if you have any needs over the course of the event, you want to obviously make toilets or facilities or anything, require anything over the course of the event, please let us know by signifying to any of the ushers. We'll be very happy and glad to help you with whatever you need. So sorry, I think because of the trip top, a slight issue with we're having a slight issue with our screens, but those will come up in a few minutes. But just to make the best use of the time, I think we'll do a few icebreaker sessions just to get people, loosen up a bit. I know it's a Thursday morning, I know everybody's here for a business meeting and everybody's very focused on what they're going to get out of it, but I think it's important we also loosen up, right? Right? So please, I'll ask that you please indulge me as we do that. I assure you, I'm not using this to waste time or to allow them to fix the screen. That's not what I'm trying to do, I assure you. I'm just trying to ensure that everybody is a bit more relaxed. So two things we'll do, starting with our panelists, right? We'll do an icebreaker focused on our panelists who have graciously agreed to join us today. And thereafter, if we have a bit more time, we'll do another icebreaker to the larger house, right? So for the panelists, we're going to play a very little game called Guess Who, right? So we're going to play a very little game called Guess Who, right? So what I'll ask the panelists to please do for us, please, if you don't mind, we'll just acknowledge the presence of the Consul General who has now joined us. Please, if you don't mind, please put your hands together and let's honor the presence of His Excellency Consul General Sri Chandramoli Kumar Ken, who is the Consul General of India to Nigeria, who has honored our invitation. Thank you so much, sir, and good morning. Very quickly, as I said, we'll be doing a quick icebreaker. And what I'll ask for all the panelists, if you don't mind, please pick up your pen, pick up your paper, your jotters, and I will ask you to do a very little exercise. Once again, the game is Guess Who, right? So for our panelists, what I would like you to do is this. I'd like you to write down something that is very interesting about you, but that very few people will ever guess. Do you get that? I want you to write something very interesting about yourself. So for example, you like bungee jumping, for example, or whatever it is. I want you to write something that is very interesting about yourself that very few people would guess easily, right? So write them down, you hand them over to me, and we'll allow the audience guess who is who. All right, is that, I guess, pretty straightforward, right? Straightforward? So write something very unique about yourself, something really interesting about yourself, right? Hopefully nothing too over the top, yeah? So just write it down, hand it over to me, and then we'll throw it open. I'll read them out, and we'll ask the audience to guess who is who. All right? I'll give you guys about 2 minutes to do that. Oh, Myrna is done. Thank you so much. She knows exactly what she does. Okay. One more time? Okay. Something interesting, and preferably something that will be hard to guess. Okay. No, but you can write your name, yeah. No, trust me, I know everybody. Alright. No, I won't switch papers, don't worry. I'm a very unbiased umpire. So we're just waiting for Chantal. Good? Good. Alright. So the polls are in no particular order. I'll read out what we've gotten from our panelists, and then it's up to you to guess. Alright? So in no particular order. One of our panelists is a the handwriting is awesome. So one of our panelists, I'm not sure what the first bit is about, but it's something about is a practitioner that focuses on the mind, body, and soul. Don't say anything yet. I'll tell you when it's time to guess. Another of our panelists is he plays for the long game, right? He's an Arsenal supporter. Whatever that means. Another one of our panelists is, he says two things that are very unique about him: consistency and persistence. Alright. Another of our panelists says he's an excellent spaghetti maker on Sundays. What? It says the proof is in the what? But he says it's what? Another says he absolutely loves soccer. So I'll take them one more time and I'll allow you to guess who is who. So once again, one of our panelists loves soccer. Another is a practitioner who focuses on mind, body, and soul. Another is a die-hard Arsenal supporter. Hopefully this will be their season, as many other seasons. Another loves consistency and persistence. And another claims to be an excellent spaghetti maker on Sundays. So apparently any other day of the week, maybe not so much, but on Sundays, excellent spaghetti maker. So the time starts now. So in no particular order, who wants to guess? Who is a person who loves soccer? Hey, Maroon, I should have banned you from this game. Correct. So so you can just wave. So one of our panelists, Chabelle, who is an executive director with Rossetti, you can just stand and just wave. All right. So obviously we'll be introducing them a bit later. Chabelle, just to be sure, which team do you support?
Liverpool.
I was hoping for something else, but I'll take it. No Arsenal. No Arsenal. I'll take it. I'll take it. So Chabelle is our soccer-loving executive director of Rossetti FZE. We have someone who focuses on mind, body, and soul. Oh wow. Let's change the dynamic. If you are related to the person, please, you are hereby banned. Right? Because Maroon has, luckily I didn't announce any prizes because Maroon would have, so just for the purposes, yes, that's very correct. So that's Mena Atala, please wave. She's the operations director with Mana. Yeah, she's into yoga. Okay, right key. That's what it is. Perfect. Interesting. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but our Consul General has started giving me a sense of what he also took. All right. So Myrna is our Reiki practitioner. So for our Mr. Consistence and Persistence, who would that be? Who? Correct. So that's Serge. So Serge is our Mr. Persistence and Consistency. So he's very consistent, we can actually attest to that. So Serge is country manager of HMD FZE. Fourth, which I find very, very interesting, we have someone here who loves to make spaghetti and only on Sundays. Who would that be? No. Well, we actually have two people now. So someone is saying him, someone is saying him. Who could it be? Pressure, the questions. Who's this? Allah. Yes. So Dr. Allah makes spaghetti best on Sundays. Right. So he's managing director of Sana FZE and is also on the panel. Obviously, this has now become a very easy one to guess. We have a die-hard Arsenal supporter. That be? Yes, correct. Mr. Agu Imo. Morning. So he's a director with Sarah Stores FZE as well. And that's for our panel. Thank you so much. Maybe we'll just give a bonus one just for our Consul General who is here this morning. So let us, he's already hinted at the fact that he's a die-hard yoga person. But who can guess the most random guess? What else do you think our Consul General loves? Could it be sports? Could it be a Consul General? Maybe just write something down just for us. Maybe your. No, I know. So I've removed yoga from the mix. Any other? Does he strike you as a sports loving person by any chance? Indoor sport? I'm trying to give hints. So, what? Another C. Squash. Let's go to C. Let's keep it within the family of C. C. Any other one? Sorry? Woo! Wow! I should give you a prize. Well, unfortunately, I don't have one. But yes, Carol, because interestingly, I found that out for the first time yesterday. So our CJ also does. But just to be sure, because I'm not sure what exactly that is. Does anyone want to know what Carol is? All right, probably shall allow CJ just explain what Carol is.
Carom is a popular indoor game in India, Sri Lanka, Germany, USA, and you will be amazed to know that they have World Cups also of that. So it's quite a popular game, but not known in many other societies and this thing. But in India, it has been a middle class family, they would 100% have carom in their house. So that it is a favorite pastime in summer months. It is more or less like billiards. You have four corners and then you have to put the coins inside that with the use of one striker. So quite a family game. 4 people can play together. Thank you.
Awesome. So how many people are signing up for Carol? I'm sure very few, very many people will. So thank you so much, and really appreciate our panelists for being a part of our. Hello? Unfortunately, we will not be able to extend to the larger house for the sake of time. But thank you all for participating and obviously helping us to identify who the spaghetti maker is. Hello? Can you hear me? Perfect. All right. I'd also like to, if you don't mind, I'd like you to be able to please acknowledge the presence of the Honorary Consul of Sri Lanka to Lagos, Achal Vang, who is also here. Please let's put our hands together. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We would like to acknowledge his presence. Thank you so much. Look forward to, I would like to change the microphone. It's seasoned a bit. Hello? I think this is better. Alright, thank you so much. Moving to the next thing on our agenda, we'll be introducing properly Alaro City. So we're here for a reason, and as I mentioned earlier, this is the Alaro City, the first edition of the Alaro City Business Series. And for this next bit, we'll be playing a video, a very short video for you. We're just introducing you to Alaro City, after which we'll be moving to the citation of our Consul General, for which I'll be inviting the Managing Director, Mr. Yomi Ademola, to take that. So very quickly, we'll play a video introducing Alaro City to you a bit more, after which we'll have Mr. Yomi Ademola come up to introduce the Consul General, and then we'll have the keynote address. Thank you so much. And please, I'll just encourage us all to please fix our eyes on the screen as we play you the video.
Alaro City is a member of the Rendezvous Group, Africa's largest new city and industrial park builder. With a portfolio of over 12,000 hectares spanning projects across the African continent, Alaro City is part of a heritage of excellence and many firsts. Situated in Lekki, our DNA is one of
Apologies, just 1 minute.
Alaro City is a member of the Rendezvous Group, Africa's largest new city and industrial park builder. With a portfolio of over 12,000 hectares spanning projects across the African continent, Alaro City is part of a heritage of excellence and many firsts. Situated in Lekki Free Zone, Alaro City is strategically located on
Alright, apologies. Sorry, I'll just start this all over again. The volume was a bit low. I want everybody to get this if you don't mind. Alright.
Alaro City is a member of the Rendezvous Group, Africa's largest new city and industrial park builder. With a portfolio of over 12,000 hectares spanning projects across the African continent, Alaro City is part of a heritage of excellence and many firsts. Situated in Lekki Free Zone, Alaro City is strategically located on the newly built 6-lane Lekki-Efe Expressway, which is one of the key distribution road networks in Nigeria. It is also in proximity to key value drivers in the free zone, such as the proposed international airport and the Lekki Deep Sea Port. At Alaro City, we are in the business of enabling dreams. Our DNA is one of continued value innovation, ensuring the full benefits of the free zone regime are continually enjoyed by our ever-growing base of citizens. That a city that works is delivered and maintained, and that we are able to power dreams to fruition at an unprecedented level. Alaro City, delivering tomorrow, today.
All right, thank you so much. That's our very quick presentation on who we are at Alaro City. On this note, I'd like you to please join me to make welcome Mr. Yomi Ademola, Managing Director of Alaro City, as he welcomes the Consul General to the city.
And gentlemen, on behalf of the board and the management of Alaro City, I would like to again welcome you all very warmly. On the back of the recent G20 meetings in India, attended by the President of Nigeria, President Tinubu, and the subsequent announcement of various areas of cooperation, particularly in the areas of business and investment, we took it upon ourselves at Alaro City to pay a courtesy visit to the Consul General of India to Nigeria to apprise him of the ongoings at Alaro City and to open a discussion about ways to deepen cooperation and coordination within the private sector of the two countries, Nigeria and India. What ensued was the most thought-provoking conversation about the role of industrialization in nation building, in the development of a country, of the deepening of a middle class. And we knew that we had no choice but to seize the opportunity to invite the Consul General to this event, which was already in the plannings. And most graciously, the Consul General accepted the invitation. Consul General Sri Chandramouli Kumar Kern is a distinguished diplomat. He holds a postgraduate degree in public administration. His illustrious career began in November 1996 when he joined the Ministry of External Affairs in India. Over the years, he has demonstrated exceptional vision and expertise in various roles within various Indian missions, having served in key positions in locations such as Jeddah, Bratislava, Tashkent, Berlin, and Erbil. Notably, from 2018 to 2020, he served as the Consul General of... Can you guys... Beyond his professional endeavors, Consul General Kern is a multifaceted individual who enjoys, among other things, activities promoting holistic well-being. He has a keen interest in yoga embracing its physical and mental benefits. Additionally, he is an avid enthusiast of indoor sports, particularly excelling at carom, table tennis, and badminton. On a personal front, Consul General Kumar Kern is happily married to Mrs. Nita Kern, and they are the proud parents of 2 children. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Consul General of India to Nigeria, Chandramouli Kern.
Namaste, and I am very happy to be here, and this has been possible because of Mr. Adimullah and the meeting we had with Mr. Sunit and Adimullah, and where is another CEO? Oh. So we discussed about Alaro city, and probably the discussion spiraled out. And that could be a region they asked me to come here. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present something for which there have been an interest in foreigners' mind about India at our recent economic strides. Session. So no problem, maybe what I am not mentioning can be part of it. If you have any further interest in that. India, with its rich history and diverse culture, has witnessed remarkable transformations in recent decades. And the development has been on economic as well as on social front also. So we can say that it has been a stable growth. The growth is not like a transitory growth, because we are having a growth rate of 7% since more or less continuously since 1991. It's a great rate. All of you who have more interest in economic and business can understand this. This is not a small thing. And especially India's success in information technology, pharmaceutical industries, space, and the food sufficiency we have has become important and sort of top of town. Till 1965, there was not enough in India to feed ourselves, and we were dependent on international grants and aids to feed our nationals. That has been totally changed now, and we are self-sufficient in most of the things, I can say, except for few ultra sophisticated things which is required to be procured from outside. Like we are making cameras, but maybe we need astronomical camera for America, Japan, so that we can fit it on our Chandrayaan, which will go to moon and to take pictures of this thing. But yes, there is no doubt that what is required in our day-to-day use, of course, those things are being made. We are making computers, but maybe for faster things and many other developments, you need supercomputers of a high degree, because you have to design, you have to create a atomic power plant, and for that you need faster computing machines. Maybe we are not making that, but even for say 70% or 80% demand you can meet yourself. That's a great achievement, because we have been independent now for 75 years, and in a country's history it's not a big time. And the way we are shaping up and the way we are going ahead is quite satisfactory. The development of manufacturing and the rise of middle class is always intertwined. Both of them are, you can say that it is cause and effect relationship. And if we utilize this, we have some policy in place where we can use the strength of the middle class for nation building, it can be great. Why? Because middle class is a contributor to the system, and they are benefactor also. So they contribute with their skill, but they benefiting with the higher wages. And once there is that higher wage, that creates the strong demand in the market. And that demand is for good education, good health care, good residential plot, good cars. And that ultimately generates the employment and manufacturing which is required for the country. So I would say that development of manufacturing sector and subsequent development of middle class is the most important thing for nation building. And the country like Nigeria, who can, on many occasions I have said that India and Nigeria is absolutely safe. There has been some time where something remained amiss in Nigeria or something extra happened in India. Because till 1970, our economic situation was, Nigeria's economic situation was better than India. Till 1970, I can 100% say. And the education system was also better. Yes, there was some support from Indian teachers also during that time, because the foresight of Nigerian leaders were there, and there were many Indian teachers teaching mathematics and physics in Nigerian schools. So that was a part, but older people can vouch for this. So this was 100% same. So I would like to explain the success story, I would say, success story of India or a growth story. I don't say that it is a policy prescription. But yes, if you people who are the decision makers can utilize few things from here and there, that would be very welcome. I would like to mention here certain intervention by the government of India on a regular basis, which has built that platform. And these are, I would say, first and foremost is agriculture. India has traditionally been an agriculture society. Still, our more than 50% of our population is dependent on agriculture. Okay, we understand that agriculture is dependent on climate and weather pattern. But there have been development, scientific development, which can more or less control these things. We have been somehow able to control the flood situation to some extent. We have been able to develop some irrigation system, the small and medium system, irrigation system. Even the modern, the top line drip irrigation system and other infusion, even the shade farming in the shade, and we are also doing that. But agriculture, we have taken to a whole different system. We are a different country. We are 1.4 billion. So there are 1.4 billion mouths to feed. It takes. It is not that easy. So agriculture is of our. And I am very glad to say that we have been able to feed our nation to a respectable level. I would not say that everything is rosy in India. No. Still there are differences, there are problems, but I would say that to some extent, to maximum extent, I would say that the people are not sleeping empty stomach. And this in itself is a great achievement for India. Then we move forward the next comes in that cycle health. So health we took care of by a huge number of pool of doctor and paramedic staff. Then there is a chain of private health center in India, and these are hierarchical. So in the very remotest part also you will find some semblance of health system. There will be paramedic who can do this, and they can refer you to the bigger one. And there is a chain of government hospital all over India that coexist with the very developed private medical centers in India, from which and many Nigerians also take benefit of those facilities because of the probably affordability and the quality there. And I would like to mention here one important aspect. I don't know, somebody can guide us whether this is in Nigeria or not. The government of India has done one spectacular policy which is called Ayushman Bharat. In that, 500 million people are expected to be health insured for around $6,000 per year. And the complete premium is paid by the government of India. So this is a great guarantee which has been given to the people. And you are businessmen, and I would request you to just envisage what this will create. 500 million people are insured for $6,000. So they will demand that I should be treated. Where will they be treated? On road? No, there has to be hospital. So you business people will go and establish different type of hospital. There will be laboratories catering to that need. Because once there is a health system, there has to be test. So those tests will happen. And this is ultimately creating, in another 5 years, there would be so many health facilities in India that I'm 100% sure that nobody would be without health. Because it is by the private individuals. They will see this as an opportunity, that I have to grab that slice. The government is giving. There is 6,000 for every person. There must be that amount should come to my company. It should come to my hospital. So there would be a competitive demand in the health sector which will facilitate growth in different other sectors also, like real estate. There could be taxation and other things. Education, I would not say much, but I would just say that there has been a growing interest in Nigerian students also to study. And to the tune of, I would say, 5,000 students are going every year for undergraduate and post-graduation course. So now I am going step by step. We fed, we made them healthy, we gave them education and skill, because let us say together. Now we have to provide them employment, because if we don't provide employment, this is going to create a chaos in the whole of the world. I am not saying only in India, because this is a big population. So for giving them employment, there has to be a development of manufacturing sector, because the agricultural employment doesn't give you the full-time employment. This is cyclical, and this is for a small point of time. In one season you will be working for 2 months, and in the sowing season and in the reaping season only 3 months. It doesn't give that work. So there have been development of manufacturing sector in India. As you may be knowing, that has been a very big strength in pharmaceutical, and we have been a great place for exporting like small and medium sized machines, not to the top level, mid-sized machinery, which is very important for world, and we have been catering to our domestic need, plus we have also been catering to the world market. Okay, so we sort of provided employment. Now we have to see that how this manufacturing sector will come up. Similar like Alaro city, India has also the program of special economic zones, which is same like what Alaro city is doing. But I am very surprised to see the law of Nigerian free trade zone. They give a lot many benefits that what we get in India. In India, the benefits are very dated. Not more than 5 to 10 years you get as free, tax free or tax breaks. But here you have unlimited this thing. And I don't see any region that free trade zone like Alaro city cannot be a great success in the world. There must be people who will be desirous of joining them as soon as possible. The need is to maybe to convey this properly. So now it is the second part is the distribution, that we have created this manufactured thing. Now how will it go to different parts of India? How will it go to different parts of the world? You need good quality roads, which we were lacking. But by government intervention, now we are building more than 20 kilometers of expressway daily. And we have been doing this for last 4-5 years. So we have substantial road network now. There have been privatization of ports, and there have been 2-3 days back we have opened up the Adani port, which is going to take the biggest ships of the world. Because earlier in India, the largest ships were not possible to dock. But now this has been over. Now we have the capacity to invite or to send even the biggest ships which is sailing in international market. So this is the distribution part. Because it has to be connected. Dots have to be connected to make the country a success. And that will happen only then we find that okay, we manufacture, now it has to go to somewhere. Domestically, okay, but roads are required. And for international market, the ports are required. So this has been done. Apart from that, there will be a lot of similarity between what we call to connect all this in a proper way is the need of digital public infrastructure. And India is spectacular in that way. I would like you to give the example of the CoWIN network. We had a browser-based network where there was information that who has taken the COVID vaccine. So we had 3 vaccines, okay, for 1.4 billion people, and I am proud to say that the system didn't crash. And within the moment you were taking the vaccination, you can download that certificate for air travel. And this was not available to many countries in the world. Later on, we extended that COVID to other countries also to use our infrastructure. So I would like to mention that digital infrastructure like Aadhaar. Aadhaar is similar like NIN card of Nigeria. Am I right, sir? Then there have been connecting SIM card with your bank account and to your Aadhaar card, which is also Nigeria. Am I right, sir? So your mobile is connected to your account, BVN. So there is another number. That is actually a problem which I wanted to say about India also. There are plethora of digital networks which needs to be combined. And India is gradually they are doing away with PAN card, and from 1st October this year, they said that birth certificate will be the prime data generator for all the requirements in future requirements. So, because you see, it has happened in Nigeria, it has happened in India also, that you have multiplicity of numbers, but somewhere it has to be linked. Still you go for passport and you feel problem in getting the passport. If you have the NIN, you should give the NIN and they should give you the passport immediately. So this was not happening. Probably the next level is going to be this. So I was just saying that these These things have helped India in last 30 years to take the speed what we can. I am also surprised many times to see the scale of Indian companies, what they can supply to the world and what are they supplying. I met one company, he was said that he sells the rice to Nigeria to the tune of $90 million, one individual. I was surprised. I said, Nigeria is banned. Nigeria rice is banned. He said it comes, sir. How does it come? Doesn't. But it comes. So I am saying that these infrastructure are required. Like these are the bottlenecks, because if you don't create this infrastructure, you cannot take your country forward. You have to have more port. The Lekki port, which has come up and which is near to Alaro city, will be a great boost, because what you will manufacture in these free zones, that has to be taken to some place, either to the export market or to the import market. Somewhere it has to go. You cannot rely still on the Apapa port where the congestion is already to a certain extent. So these are the infrastructure which has come up and it is going to develop. I will briefly mention just in point wise that how middle class attracts and does this. Because I have been asked many times a question that Nigerians are going to India for treatment. Why cannot government of India make one good hospital in Nigeria? I said it looks very easy to think of. But a hospital doesn't, only a building. It takes time to develop doctors. It takes time to develop paramedical officers. And you cannot simply import them and start the process. It has to give confidence in the mind of the patient. It doesn't come immediately. It takes time. That is why, what is happening, like you have created one Alaro city, but you need people who will work there. And here comes the role of middle class, because there has to be enough people who can man those positions. They have to be managers. You cannot have expatriates there, because having expatriates is very costly. That is costly in the bringing them, keeping them, and having their surpack every year. This is $2,000 per person. So it can only be cost effective when our local population is utilized mainly in those manufacturing units. Then only it will be cost effective, then only it will be viable in West Africa, viable in Greater Africa, and maybe to the other parts of the world. So how will we develop this thing? By skilling, by education. These two things, because other things we will take for granted, that they are happy, they are healthy, they are fed, we will take it granted. But the important part is that we need the skilled manpower, very skilled manpower, otherwise the growth would not happen. We need the paramedics to have a great hospital here. If your paramedics are going through Japa all the time, you don't have the people who will be manning that. You doctors are required. If every doctor, because one doctor, if he does the graduation and he does post-graduation, 6 years, and at least he takes 10 more years to get the confidence of the patient. So you should have a 10-year doctor in your hospital, and you should have a hospital where there are those facilities, you have a reliable test mechanism, only then it can happen. So in the line of, okay, and the middle class is very entrepreneur also. They are innovators. In India we call it, I don't know, jugaad. Suniti, is there any word in Nigeria? Arrangement, sort of. Yeah. So in India, middle class has come up with the innovative idea. where small things have been developed which has been found useful. It has happened without much of the R&D, because it was because of individual engineers, individual doctors. They found some mechanism to develop that. So they are the innovator in the true sense. If we have to harness the full capability of middle class, we have to invest heavily in skilling at the start. Just immediately, we have to start heavily on the skilling. I give this example to many other people also. In Dangote refinery, when the construction was there, I would also like to say that the Dangote refinery has been designed by Engineers India Limited, which is 100% Government of India company. So the designing part was done by Engineers India Limited. But in that, I have heard that 15,000 people were working at that one time. I mentioned it to permanent secretary that I can understand that Dangote refinery is a big refinery. There could be 100 to 200 great expatriates working there. But there is no point that you have 15,000 acres. You should have your skilling unit who can provide those subsidiary services. Of course, you can have, there are top class engineers. You cannot find many Ademola. You cannot find. He has to be there. But the people who are working there, they can be from India. They can be from Nigeria. They don't require to be brought from Nigeria. From India, sorry. So by saying is that, okay, the innovators, the mastermind is okay because they is in demand everywhere in the world. You bring them. But your support staff should be local. And it is required. And I would suggest the Alaro city also to have some skilling industry, which should be a profitable venture. I don't say that you give away. It should be a very business venture, but there should be something which can skill, and you immediately utilize that. You can have special machine user, electricians who can be utilized with. Free trade zones are required in large numbers in a country like Nigeria or something. Why? Because their gestation period is very fast. The projects will take like 3 months, you can start production. But if you want the same project to start in Ikeja or somewhere, you would not be able to do that. So there is a need of free trade zone like Alaro city at many places in Nigeria. And I am very happy to note that they have full infrastructure. You can just plug in your internet connection, electricity is there, gas is there. So it's a great opportunity, and I hope that I will try my best that Indian companies, more and more Indian companies utilizes the benefit of such facility. With these words, I thank you all for providing me this opportunity where I could speak about India. Thank you.
Please let's give a standing ovation to the Consul General. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We'll all agree with me that he did justice to our keynote presentation. Thank you so much, sir. If you don't mind, please, I'd just like to ask and request, sir, that you please take a picture. And can I please request that our managing director please join him, and all our panelists please join the Consul General as we take a quick picture. So if I can please request all our panelists to please join as we take a very quick picture. Thank you once again, Consul General. Thank you so much. You all agree with me that that was really, really, really what we needed to hear. And as he rightly said, he did justice to why manufacturing is important. And obviously, we cannot appreciate you enough, Consul General, also for identifying very clearly the power of the free zone and how that is very critical and important for businesses who are looking to obviously have and enjoy a competitive advantage. Also very interesting was how you were able to show how even in India, how certain policies and things have been able to help, really catalyze a lot of the growth that we've seen as a country, and how that obviously will be the case in and for Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir, once again, and I believe everyone once again will join me to put your hands together as one more time we appreciate Consul General Shri Kumar Ken for such a wonderful keynote address. Thank you, sir. Very quickly, we'll be moving to the next item on our agenda, and that is we'll be having a presentation from our friends at the Lekki, from the Lekki Deep Sea Port. Obviously, even our the Consul General had mentioned during his presentation that it's obviously a very critical infrastructure and obviously partner for the general Lekki Free Zone to thrive. And we're very happy because number one, it is fully operational. That's one, and it's important to mention. And number two, it's in itself already changing the dynamic of the entire free zone and the opportunities that obviously businesses are able to leverage from the free zone. So I'd like to please ask that you please join me as we welcome to the podium our friends from Lekki Deep Sea Port, who will be giving their presentation on the Lekki Deep Sea Port and obviously how it is in itself a very key factor for growth in the ecosystem. Let's welcome Mr. Ray as he does that for us.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ray from Lekki Port. And to begin with, thank you very much, General Counsel. Just a new information that Lekki Port, we just get pharmaceutical import permit. So next time, if you want to import any pharmaceutical product from India, we will come to Lekki Port. So today we are going to introduce Lekki Port, our journey, our operation, and our cargo evacuation plan. So to begin with, Lekki Port, we're based in Lagos Free Zone, 65 kilometers from Lagos, and about 20 kilos from Alaro City. So we are BOT model, build, own, operate, and transfer under MPA. We have 45 years concession period. Up to now, we still have 42 years left against 3 years construction period. We have 3 containers, 3 deep breakers, and 1 dry bulk berth. That is our concession store. Our key features, our key wall length, 1.5 kilometers. And we have drafts of 16.5 meters water depth. Now compare with Apapa and Titan of 11 to 12 meters. So we can accommodate the bigger vessels from the world. We have 9 hectares of land. Our unique 7 pointers. Lekki Port is one of the biggest seaport in this country with multi-purpose port. And of course, Lekki Port is the first deep sea port in Nigeria. See, we have two phases to develop Lekki Port. In phase 1, we have already completed the breakwater, the water depths, the dredging, the turning side dredging, and the key. Now the current key is 680 meters with 2 container berths. Now we are discussing with other companies on the dry bulk and liquid. In phase 2, we will also develop our key wall into 1.5 kilos. We will have 1 more container berth. This is our shareholder structure. Okay, so Lekki Port is owned by public and private. We have 20% owned by Lagos State, 5% owned by MPA, which 75 is owned by China Harbour and Colorado Group. So we together established a special purpose field, which is to run this port business. Now we have three crew business. The first part is container business, also dry bulk business, liquid birth business. CMA is our CMA CGM, the shipping company. Also, they have a terminal operator company. So they are our operator for our container terminal. Total Ram is our dry bulk sub-concessionaire. They will operate the dry bulk. Depends on they will develop the dry bulk in the following years. Now we are looking for other partners in the liquid first. Okay, Lucky Port will have an estimated impact of $361 billion over this impact to Nigeria over this 45 years concession. And this port itself cost 1.5 billion on the fixed asset, phase one and phase two. It will create 170 jobs from the port operation, and also it will bring the benefit to the federation, to the federal, on the tax and other royalties. Okay, this is how the Lucky Port looked like 6 years before, and now this is the reality. We took this picture in the beginning of April, so you can see there's no container on it. But if we need to update the pictures. If you go to the port and see, there are a lot of containers and ships already come to Lucky Port. Okay, speaking of marine services, we have as a modern port, we have the full functional marine services to the port. Contains with tugboats, howlets, lines boats. We also have our VTS Harbor Master Operation System. Okay, talking about equipment, as a modern port, we have the current most advanced equipment compared to the international port. We have DPMC world leader in artisan STS cream to provide us the STS and creams. Our RTG creams are designed to stack 7 layers, which is 1/6 containers, which means we can build higher, we can accommodate more containers on our container yard. We have superposed Panama twin lift capacity in our STS, and there is 65 ton under spreader load, which 21 container wide, which also demonstrated that we can accommodate bigger vessels. 21 containers wide, we can reach to the end. Instead of if the STS is smaller, you have to let the vessel ship turn around and to reach another end. Okay, we have 40 ton bridge stackers. So our unit selling price on the equipment is among the largest in the world. With the environmental protection standards, we have the advanced equipment on the port. We also have scanners at the port, which is also the brand new and the first of time in Nigeria. So you can see the container cargo can just go through that automation system. But this is the case. The container truck can just go through their scanners, get a quick scan and examination. We have our vehicle booking system. We have our autogate. It's also the brand new in this country. So we also have our cargo clearance, which bring the customer to have a better service to the port. So I will skip this part. You will feel it once you bring goods to Lucky Port. So we also have our first transshipment in June, which I want to emphasize this point because to bring the transshipment is also the first transshipment in Nigeria. Transshipment is port close to the room because the free zone will produce, import raw materials and produce and export. So this transshipment services will bring you the faster, and quicker, more efficient products for our clients to serve other countries. Now we have already transshipment to Togo, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire. So we also developed new countries to cover the West Africa countries. Talking about the evacuation management system, now we have roads and railway barge. At the previous barge is not a future plan; it's already applied in Lekki Port. So talking about roads, now the government they are building the roads from Lekki Port to Ileko, from Ileko to Epe has already completed. They are doing the Ileko to Aja. So after, I believe, after next year, the whole road evacuation system will be fully developed. And also we have some new plans directly connect Lekki Port to the northern of Lagos. Okay, so that is all for my presentation. So Lekki Port, before it's a dream, now it's a real port. We welcome you at Lekki Port. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much for that very, very great presentation. So for those of you who did not know, the Lekki Port is fully operational and is open for business. And as he obviously had run through over the course of the presentation, it's clear. So if you want to obviously speak with the representatives from Lekki Port team at over lunch or whatever, please, they'll still be around to discuss. I think it's important to take a picture, if you don't mind, just with our friends from Lekki Port as well. Once again, I would please appeal that the panel just join us and just take a quick with our friends from the Lekki Port who have given this presentation. Once again, remember, for those of you who came a bit late, I mentioned that you have on your seats, you have jotters and pens. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them down. At the end of the panel session, which we'll be going into very shortly, we'll please then take all questions together. So if you have any questions, even for the Lekki Port team or any of the other presentations you've heard, write down your questions and we'll take them after the panel session. Thank you so much. Awesome. How's everyone doing so far? Everyone good? Yes. Everyone good? The energy in the room. I need more energy in the room. How's everyone doing? Good? Another icebreaker? Icebreaker? Anyone? Okay, I think we're pressed for time, but maybe somewhere in between I'll ask some random questions just again, just to check everybody. I need everybody's energy to be up just a bit. So we'll be going very quickly into the panel sessions. Obviously we don't want to obviously take too much time, obviously of our panelists especially. So we'll be moving to the panel session. What I'll be doing very quickly is I'll be welcoming our panelists one after the other onto the stage, after which I will reveal our moderator who will be helping us to moderate the panel sessions themselves. Now, as they say, ladies first. So I'd like to start by welcoming to the stage a very, very, very wonderful lady. I'm sure this is not a trick question. You can obviously figure that there's only one woman on the panel. So we're going to be welcoming to the stage Myrna Atala, who is the operations director with Manal FZE. Manal was established in the year 1989 and boasts a rich legacy and extensive expertise in the realm of construction machinery and equipment supply, as well as building material production. With a steadfast commitment to excellence, the company has successfully expanded its operations across Nigeria, becoming a prominent player in the industry. What sets Manal Nigeria apart is not just its wide-ranging operations, but its unwavering dedication to delivering exceptional customer experiences. The company takes pride in its robust after-sales support system, ensuring that clients receive comprehensive assistance even after the initial purchase. It's also important to mention, as we said earlier, that Myrna is an avid Reiki practitioner. Correct, I got it right this time, and also is very big on yoga and everything else. It's also interesting to mention that she also is an educationist as well. So that's something that you didn't know about Myrna as well. On that note, please join me as we make welcome to the stage Myrna Atala. Put your hands together for her. Thank you so much for joining us today. Secondly, I'd like you to please join me to welcome, please sit. Yes, thank you. You are very rightly positioned in the middle. You are the center of attraction. All right, so secondly, I'd like you to please join me to make welcome Mr. Agu Imo, who is our number one Arsenal fan, and is Gunners for life. I'm not one of you, but Gunners for life. Huh? Oh, sorry. I got carried away with Gunners. I'm a fan of other clubs. Please have a seat, sir. Mr. Agu Imo is a director of Cyrus FZE. Cyrus was established to play a pivotal role in the development of the evolving furniture and joinery subsector of the Nigerian building construction industry. Cyrus is a successor company to several pre-existing businesses, possessed of considerable experience, and seeks to utilize this new vehicle to open new vistas in terms of professionalism and service delivery. His vision is to be the most efficient manufacturer and installer of furniture and joinery products in sub-Saharan Africa, and in particular, to provide Nigerian content to the construction industry. Once again, please join me to make welcome Mr. Agu Imo, Director, Cyrus FZE. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Next, I would like to please welcome to the stage, and I'd like you to please join me as we welcome Mr. Serge Kozujuken, Country Manager, HMD FZE. Please put your hands together. HMD, established in the year 2003, has built a strong reputation as a specialized distributor and service provider in premium heavy machinery and parts used in the mining, quarrying, construction, roadworks, recycling, transportation, and agricultural industries, respectively. HMD is focused on playing an integral part in the building of Africa's infrastructure, where they have clearly positioned themselves as a leading machinery solutions partner. Once again, please join me as we welcome Mr. Serge to the stage. Serge is a very good and personal friend, so it's awesome to have you here. Thank you so much. Next, I'll ask that you please join me as we welcome to the stage Dr. Allah Agadban, Managing Director of Sana LZE. Let's please put our hands together. He's also our chief spaghetti maker on Sundays. Established in the year 2007, Sana has a vision of transforming. Sana has a vision of transforming the quality of construction delivery in Nigeria. It has become an essential component of the construction industry in Nigeria, with a network throughout West Africa and the Middle East. Sana specializes in industrial buildings, heavy industries, light industries, warehousing, food and beverage plants and outlets. Once again, please join me, put your hands together for Dr. Allah Akadban, who is Managing Director of Sana Industries FZE. Last but not least, please I ask that you please join me, put your hands together as we welcome to the stage Mr. Shabel Dib, Executive Director, Rossetti FZE. Established in the year 1988, since inception, its operations are centered around steel structure construction and civil engineering that meets both local and international codes of practice. Rossetti Enterprises has maintained a healthy presence in the northern states, middle belt, and other parts of Nigeria, where they have completed and delivered quality projects on schedule and on budget. Rossetti Enterprises Limited offers innovative solutions to its clients, including theoretical ideas, engineering design, construction, and long-term maintenance. Once again, put your hands together and make welcome Mr. Shabel Dib, the Executive Director of Rossetti FZE. Now, last but not least, I'd like to then introduce the moderator for the panel conversations and discussions. He's a man who needs little introduction, but I'll introduce him all the same. He's an accomplished business leader, lawyer by training, now city builder by, should we say, by design or choice or employment. All three apply. Please join me to make welcome the one and only Managing Director of Alaro City FZC, my good friend and mentor, Mr. Yomi Ademola, as he comes to moderate the session.
Thank you very, very much. To our panelists, who are all our esteemed clients, thank you for being here and agreeing to participate. We'll get straight into it. In logistics, they say there's last in, first out, right? So we're going to start with Rossetti, who was the last to the stage, and will be the first to get a question. Mr. Charbel, one of the reasons we're doing this panel is for people to get a first-hand account of the experiences of businesses in the free zone. And therefore, we want to encourage everybody to please be as open as possible, as kind as you wish, but as transparent as possible, please. So in the construction industry, please speak to us about the cost efficiencies that Rossetti and other construction companies can experience, and that you personally have experienced at the free zone versus the customs territory.
Thank you, Yomi. First of all, good morning, everyone. Being one of the first people that Alaro City back in late 2017, we had the belief in what was being planned for Alaro City, and we started presenting ourselves over there since 2019. We have our land. In fact, we decided to be part of Alaro City, first of all, in regards to the commitment of Rendiver and the people we saw. And we met throughout our process, very professional set of people. Whatever they said, they delivered. In terms of the benefits, basically construction prices, or the price of construction is based on the raw material, Romy. And the benefit of being in the free zone is being able to import raw material into the free zone without having to pay any tax or duty, unlike operating outside the free zone. This has helped us a lot in reducing the prices of the construction, offering our clients a better price in order for us and for them to compete and operate in the market locally. So basically the prices, the tax and duty free on raw material, the possibility of importing steel and other construction material into the free zone with the ease of access, with the facility from the customs and the easy and the great support we get. This has given us a great advantage to operate in the free zone, especially Alaro City.
Thank you very much, Charbel. And just to make it very plain for the audience, when you import raw material from outside of the country, do you pay duty?
No, we don't. And the process is very easy.
Okay. When you procure from the customs territory, when you procure from within Nigeria, do you pay VAT?
Yes, we do. And this holds a financial amount of money, because usually if you're importing and then you're paying the duty, it holds your VAT. But in the free zone, you have the chance to have this cash in hand and use it in a different operation.
Now, when you make your profit, do you pay corporate income tax?
That's too many questions, isn't it? You said a question.
So in short, no corporate income tax for the profit from revenue generated in the free zone. Not speaking to any particular entity. Continuing with, thank you very much. Continuing with the last in, first out, I think the next person to join the stage was Dr. Alaro from Sana, who is another friend of the house and esteemed client. Dr. Alaro, we know a lot of your work in the free zone axis and beyond across the country involves a deep level of specialization. We know, very similar to some of the points raised by the Consul General, that sometimes it requires expertise to come in from outside of the country or outside of the free zone. Please talk to us about your experience in being able to source that expatriate talent, and whether you've had any issues with expat quotas or anything of the like.
First of all, welcome to everybody again. Welcome again. Welcome to Lee. For the getting expat into the free zone, it is very easy. Easier actually than getting somebody to the coastal territory. You don't need a quota in the face-to-face, and you have unlimited number of people to get from abroad. But you mentioned something good away from the question you may ask, that the goal is not to get those guys. We need some expertise in high technique works, but the goal of everybody actually to get employment for the Nigerians and to get more business, and this is what we are doing actually in our business. We started the business with the high-tech production of steel manufacturing and construction materials, and we reduced recently the number of expats from 40 to 20. Getting the 40 was very easy, and reducing it from 40 to 20 was a tough journey, but we achieved that by replacing them with local. So it is easy. All what you need to do, I think, something they call it change of work permit or something. There's a process in the immigration, very easy, and you can get them even if they are working in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Dr. Allah. Skills transfer is one of the things we have seen firsthand at Alaro City, both within the development activity that we have taken forward, but also in the activity of our clients, particularly the construction companies, to see the employment numbers rise and to look at the nature of the projects and the type of machinery and skill that is being exercised to actualize these projects. That know-how stays in country, and it actually flows from Alaro City to other parts of the free zone, to other parts of the country. So we're very happy to see that. I think the next on stage was Mr. Serge from HMD, Heavy Machinery Dealership. Please speak to us about One Stop Shop, your experience interfacing with, or not interfacing with regulators at Alaro City. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and welcome everybody to share with you our experience of the free zone as a one-stop shop, as mentioned by Mr. Yomi. Today, our business is easily impacted by regulatory bureaucracy. As a matter of fact, HMD, I believe we have fair issues or have fair issues with the regulatory, which we have ensured in partnership with Alaro City to bypass all the obstacles and streamline the process, because it was in the early stages where the regulatory issues came up, but everything is now streamlined and processed perfectly. In addition to that, progressively, our operational experience in the free zone has given us an added value, pioneer our business. Also at the same time, in the free zone, a very good point that as business take it into consideration that can use your free zone facility as a hub to support your other entities across the region. Like we do for HMD, for example, we have in Ghana, we have in Spain, we have in Qatar, we have in Benin. So we can use as a hub to reduce our inventory level and stock in Nigeria free zone. And as mentioned by our 84 manager, that the transshipments are fair now to Ivory Coast and Ghana and Togo, something an added value advantage that we always leverage over the customs agents. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Serge. I will say it here openly that I think of all our clients, we've had the most direct feedback from Serge, and it has been a very constructive and collaborative journey to get us to a point where we are today and where we'll be in the future. So thank you for that. I think next in line is Cyrus Doors, Mr. Algo. One of the things we're very proud of at Alaro City is that we are the first free zone in the country over the 30 plus years free zone regime in Nigeria to create a dedicated sub-regime enclave for SMEs. The majority of business, the majority of employment in the country is created from SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, and this is actually in line with some of the remarks from the Consul General and the need to focus on building the industrial base at all levels. And so this is the biggest level in the country, the SME, and we have a number of participants, none more prolific or as constructed in feedback as Cyrus does. So, Mr. Algo, please speak to us about how this platform for SMEs in the free zone.
Thank you very much. When I was asked to or invited here, Kudus asked me to send a bio for myself, and I said that I was a lawyer, a company director, and a Nigerian citizen. I didn't want to do much more than that because I knew I was coming to sit amongst people who were much bigger than we are. You know, we are just a small SME, and you can see the kind of people I'm sitting next to. But the kind of business we do is such that we know that we will benefit a lot from this because we provide support. We have been making doors for 27 years. It's a small family business. Managing director is my wife, who is an architect. And for us to do business for 27 years in Nigeria, it means that there's something we're doing right. And so that's what we did. How did we get here? We set up a cooperative and we wanted to do investments. And so we heard about Alaro, and we came to see the MD then was the guy called Oduayo. So we came over and we took a position with our cooperative. But while we were talking about the cooperative, it occurred this cooperative was a number of us who went to school together in Lagos, a school called Igobi College. But while we were talking about it, we realized that this is maybe the place for Cyrus, because in 27 years we've done business on the mainland, we've done business on the portion of the island around near Lagos Business School, we've done business in Port Harcourt, and you know, we've had the pressures of having to go through the difficulties of doing business in Nigeria, power, infrastructure, and all those things that can wear a lot of people out. And in fact, people ask us, how are you still doing this? Why are you trying to manufacture when everybody else is just bringing in cheap little things that come in from all over the world at ridiculous prices and of course don't last? But because of the passion, we continue. So Alaro turns out to be the kind of place, because like they said, they have an SME park, which means that we don't have to take 5,000 square meters, we don't have to take 10,000 square meters. And so we have come to that place and we are setting up there, and it's going to provide us with power, so we don't have to buy diesel, which can kill anybody. We don't have to have Lagos state officials running after us from Pilagino. In fact, when we were on the mainland, we had to remove our signboards because it brought, whereas it was supposed to bring customers, instead it was bringing government officials of every kind. So in Alaro, we find a safe place that we can be able to now do the things that we have to do and build our succession plan. And then also, we also find out that outside of the possibility of being able to export, because with the Naira the way it is, it means that our goods will actually be cheaper. It also means that for the rest of you all, you're going to have a place where you can buy all your doors, all your wardrobes, all your kitchens at, you know, how you want it, and you can see it and it will be delivered to you. So we are tremendously excited to be part of Alaro. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ago. I think I would just add, for those not as familiar with the free zone regime, that in Nigeria, 100% of what is produced or assembled in the zone can come into the customs territory. Nigeria being the largest market in the West African region, it's important for people that might think the free zone is only for exporting out of the country, that indeed it is for exporting out of the country, but it's also 100% of what is produced or assembled can come into the customs territory. So not just the people in the free zone, but anybody can get Cyrus Doors furniture from the free zone. So, last but certainly not the least, Madam Myrna from Manal FZE. Thank you so much. Our question for you, and for those that may not be aware, Manal is the newest entrant at Alaro City of the panel members. So they have just come in. They have submitted drawings for approval. They have just started construction. And so within that context, please share with us more about how easy or not it was for you to set up at Alaro City, and how setting up at Alaro City, in your view, will contribute to streamlining your operations.
Hello everyone. It's an honor to be here today to reflect on the transformative journey of Alaro City. When we first heard of Alaro City, it was through a very great friend, Mr. Marwan Awad, which is the owner of Rossetti. He had a great explanation about the vision of Alaro City, and this is what actually motivated us to take this step to expand our business. Now setting up our business in Alaro City was a very smooth process, taking into consideration the support that we got from the front desk of the procedure was very easy, and they gave us the right guidance. Thank you. They gave us the right needed guidance through our application process. As we all know today, businesses actually face issues with, as he said, with the bureaucratic obstacles, and which means the challenges business face are with excessive regulations and administrative complexities. But with Alaro City Free Zone, they have centralized and simplified the process for handling these various administrative and regulatory tasks. Instead of us dealing with multiple offices or agencies, they can access the necessary services and support in one place, which can save time and reduce complexities. As for us, our decision to expand this business in the free zone and Alaro City in particular was informed by our business expansion objectives. We saw the opportunity to purchase this land within Alaro City as means of expanding the business. Our journey with Alaro City has been inspiring one. It's about not just business expansion, but also a deeply personal connection with a visionary project. Just to sum up everything, our decision for choosing Alaro City was driven by the combination of their visionary approach, strategic location, growth potential, collaborative opportunities, quality of life, and shared values. It's a decision that we haven't regretted, and we are excited and grateful to be part of this remarkable initiative.
Thank you so much, Myrna, for sharing. We appreciate the response. I would like to ask for just one more question per panelist, given the constraints of time, and we'll take it in the same order. To cut to the chase, a lot of business people ask, is it indeed true? So this is to Mr. Charbel. Is it indeed true that you can cut costs and increase profitability at Alaro City or a free zone because of the tax and duty incentives? What has your experience been?
Yes, 100% Yomi. From operating in the free zone, we've had the chance to look into our financials throughout the past years, and we've seen a huge difference from operating in the free zone rather than operating outside of the free zone, with the projects being executed within the free zone. There has been a huge difference in terms of taking advantage of the incentives related to the tax and duty implications that are actually offered or waived in Alaro City. There's a huge benefit being there and operating in the free zone. That's obvious. One more thing, I used to look at the slogans, and we used to have the slogan live, play and work. So I don't see it around today, but this takes us back to what Councillor General was talking about. Alaro City is a park for middle class people, and it's going to be there for one reason. We're going to have people working in factories and staying at the same city and schooling and enjoying their life within the same city rather than having to drive all the way from one place to another. So this is a huge advantage of Alaro City, since our topic earlier was about middle class people, and we would like to thank you for sure for making that happen. Going back 5-6 years ago till today, we've seen a huge progress. We're proud of all the commitments you've given to each and every one of us. You've never failed us and you've never doubted us, so keep up the good work. Thank you.
He's a very kind man. He's a very kind man, Mr. Shabel. Thank you so much. I do think it's worth tagging on top of that to emphasize again, particularly for people who are not that familiar with Alaro City. It is a mixed-use, mixed-income city, mixed use. So one of the things for building the middle class that Shabel referred to is seeing overall operational and quality of life efficiency and experience. So fundamental in that for us is reliability of power, reliability of internet, reducing commute times by creating very convenient places for people to live in close proximity to where their jobs are, and ensuring from a quality of life perspective that things like cycling lanes, sidewalks, recreational areas are there to improve quality of life alongside social amenities. So retail, restaurants, hospitality, entertainment. So thank you for highlighting that. I think next we are moving to Dr. Allah of Sana. Again, to cut to the chase, what business is really asking. One of the things that people ask, in addition to can I cut prices and at the same time be more profitable, can I handle more efficiently the logistics of importation and exportation by locating out of a free zone and having a free zone entity as the importer or exporter of record.
Okay, thank you, Yumi. Let me explain for you the whole process and the difference between being in the free zone and being in Alaro City as a location, comparing with being in Lagos. And this is from our real experience, especially after the starting of operation at Likki Port. If you look to the point from business perspective, what you need in business is actually cost, time, and service. Let's take it one by one. The cost of getting container from Likki Port today to Alaro City is between quarter and third of the cost of getting any container from Ababa Port to any other place in Greece, not to Alaro City. Even if your business is in Oshodi, in Motion, in anywhere, it's not about the distance, it's about the ease of getting things from Likki Port, and this is a real experience. Our first container from Likki Port was in early September, and today most of our containers are coming through Likki Port. So if you are thinking about cost, it is around quarter to third of what we used to pay to clear a container from Ababa to another place in Nigeria. And the reason of that mainly is the transportation, the excess amount we are paying for the clearing agent of Ababa, because it is so complicated to take it out, and a lot of unnecessary fees are paid here and there to get any container out. All this unnecessary, can say, is not in Likki Port. Okay, thanks for Mr. Neil to do that. Up to the point in numbers that, like today we are dealing with the steel plates, for example. And in our last calculation, that even getting steel plate in container to Likki or taking it up is cheaper than getting it in loose bulk to Ababa Port and bringing it. Means that we are bridging around $40 to $50 per ton, and that's a huge number in our business. Now this is about cost, about time. The processing time of any container in Likki Port is coming. I'm marketing you, Mr. Lee, today. So the processing time in Licky port is also 3 to 4 days, comparing with everybody knows like we are talking about 2 to 3 weeks if you are talking about Apamo port. So the efficiency and the technology that implemented in Licky port is really amazing. Then again is the service. Your container is not open in the port. Your container is open in your yard. So everything is open in front of you. You do your business correctly. No one can come and claim any right from you. And as efficiency, there's no delay of also inspection of the containers in the port. Taking a board from Licky port to Ipi is taking hardly 45 minutes. So we're talking about 3 to 4 days of processing and 45 minutes to take it from Licky port to Ipi. And the road, as we can see now, I can say like 70%, from Ipi to Aleko Junction is 100% completed. And from Licky port to Aleko Junction, that's I think is around maybe 40-50% completed. And ITEC is doing very wonderful job. The road is coming to not 5 stars, 7 stars. So this is what an investor need for the business. And there's one more point about the location, since we are talking about the logistics of Alaro city. The product process starts from raw materials coming to the port, getting processed, and then going to the market. If you look to the location of Alaro city, it is very strategic location, that it is in the middle between your source and your customers. You take your container from the port, process it in Ipi, then coming back to Lagos, it's a matter of 10 minutes drive to the junction, or taking it out of Lagos, you are on the free road of Ipi, which is also today is like 5 stars road. It's very, very good, good road now. So I wish I answered your question, Yuli.
An exceptional answer. Thank you very much, Dr. Allah. I would like to pick up on what you just last mentioned. Again, I referred prior to the fact that when you look at West Africa, honestly, when you look at Africa, you have to consider from a business perspective the market of Nigeria. And the market of Nigeria is not just Lagos, notwithstanding the majority of international trade passes through the ports of Lagos, but to ground transportation and nationwide distribution network. The location of Alaro city right at the border of the state, going into the neighboring state, the gateway state, an ability to get to the east of the country or the further west of the country or ultimately to the north, like some of our clients are exporting from Alaro city up to the north of the country and even crossing the northern border of Nigeria, is very strategic for capitalizing on business opportunity. So thank you for that, Dr. Allah. I'm mindful of the time constraints. I've been told we have 2 more questions. And so next is Mr. Serge. Dr. Allah has spoken to us about his experience today. How do you believe in the future the Lekki Deep Sea Port will impact your operations? And for the record, everybody, HMD is in the business of heavy machinery. So they import in, they export, they sell into the customs territory. With time, I'm sure they will even be assembling. But speak to us about what you foresee.
Thank you. To be very honest with you, we still didn't explore the options of importing to Lekki port because, as usual, as every business starts, we need to give them a bit of time so that they can streamline their process and sort out any issues they have with the regulatory. But based on the feedback from Mr. Ala now, I believe I have enough confidence now and encouraged to direct some of my shipments to Lekki port. Definitely it will reduce my cost because it's 2 kilometers away. Using our low beds, we can definitely save a lot of cost rather than sending it to Apapa. Also, at the same time, Lekki port establishment now will increase the appetite for transporters to have some park for them, low bed park or flat beds at the region there, so that it would be cost efficient for other entities that they do not have low beds or flat beds to transport their containers from and to Lekki port. So I believe we will try it definitely. As HMD we will try it because it's very close to us as well. It will help us in the export process towards Ghana and Benin and other regions? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Serge, and we'll be very interested to get your feedback as well. To Mr. Agu, one of the things we discussed with the Consul General in terms of focusing on small and medium-sized entities is scaling them to grow from small to medium, from medium to large conglomerates. How can, in your opinion, the Free Zone provide a platform to help SMEs scale?
Well, for us, the biggest problem we've had is human capital, because there's been a death of technically trained people. You know, we've moved from virtually abandoned the work of the artisans, the work of those technical schools that used to exist, and everybody has gone to get a degree or do some such thing. So in our business, we find out that it's difficult for us to actually have a trained manpower, carpenters, machinists, and the like. So what we had done was that we had made an arrangement with some schools, the technical schools on the mainland, and said to them that anybody you had doing this kind of work, we would employ them. But where we actually are moving into, like the High Commissioner said, is that we have to invest in skills. We need to both as a company, and we tend to do that there, and also, remember I'm wearing two caps with the cooperative that we're running. We're also going to invest in skills training, because it's going to be absolutely necessary. There has to be a middle class, and that middle class cannot be imported, like we said. It has to be trained, developed here, and so there's plenty of work to be done, and it's something that we will look forward to doing or being a part of, and it's absolutely necessary.
Thank you very much, sir. On that note, I do think, you know, every time we're around the Consul General, we seize opportunities to invite him. So I will share that Alaro City, within the next 90 days, should be breaking ground on a training center or skills acquisition center, which will be providing training for jobs that we anticipate will be required at Alaro City, to ensure that there's not just training, but that there will be employment. And so, depending on the Consul General's availability, we will of course be extending an invitation, and we hope he may be able to attend. We have an organization called Ren Women at Rendeva, which is effectively the women team members at our projects. And we find them to have a very high degree of efficiency. And I'm sure they're going to offer an honorary invitation to Madame Myrna, because she answered two questions in her first question, which was about their journey to coming into Alaro City and how they see the free zone regime being used to streamline their operations. And because of the constraints of time, I hope therefore you'll forgive me. The panel has come to a close. Ladies and gentlemen, please assist me to appreciate our panelists. So we're just going to open up to the floor for a question or two that may exist for our panelists, or even for the Consul General, based on the keynote remarks.
I don't know if I stand, but
if you could please stand and introduce yourself. This is one of our esteemed customers, so I wanted to introduce himself, please.
So my name is Osage Omanai, and I'm the MD of Shambhala FZD, also a citizen of Alaro City. So my question is to Dr. Allah. I think it's been very interesting, the insights you gave us. Yes. No. No, I'm just curious actually, because I sort of tried to do a bit of research anyway, and I know that Sana's been in business quite a while, and also I noticed that it's also in operation in some other free zones as well. So I'm just curious in terms of why Alaro City, what's that Alaro City brought to the table? Someone who's already have some free zone experience.
Okay, thank you for the question. The first time I met Yomi, it was late 2017 when it was a greenfield project. At that time, we get introduced to him by our first client there, who was Ariel Food, Mr. Darren Shandaria. Darren was aiming to build the factory, the one you see in red color there, over there. That's Ariel Food. And by the way, the design of Ariel Food is a symbol of UNICEF with the colors of the Canadian flag. That's how it was designed, redesigned actually. So the journey starts from there. We start to discover that there's an opportunity through the investment of our customer. Both of them explain for us the benefit. And for me, before that, honestly, free zone is something like out of this world, out of imagination to happen for Sana Group, but we make it very easy for us. We partnership with them at the beginning. We did the development of the roads and infrastructure in Alaro City. We help them, they help us. And then we found that the right way to do business in Nigeria is to be in the free zone. One more point maybe is missed here or not really given the real value in the free zone is the income tax. In our business, for example, the biggest benefit, apart from all what we talk about, cost efficiency, location, ease of doing business, quotas, is the income tax. The company doesn't pay an income tax. And if you have a high volume business, you will find that the investment within 3 to 4 years is paid itself from only the saving in the income tax. Apart from, as my friend here mentioned, all the government officials, they have no business with you. You can do your advertisement, open your office anywhere, and the benefits are day after day is increasing. So that's why we are in the free zone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Allah. Just to bring that to life before our next question, it's important to emphasize, I think everybody here probably falls into a corporate income tax bracket of about 32%. So that they're avoiding 32% in corporate income tax. That is a difference maker for any business across any industry. It's just something to think about. Our next question, please.
My name is Ahmed Alubankudi. I'm the head of sales SMT Nigeria. My question, this is very interesting for us, as some of our competitors are on the panel and even our clients. And in a nutshell, in one or two words, what would you say are your competitive advantage being in the free zone and for SMT Nigeria? Look.
Do you want me to tell you everything or just some of the as a competitor?
Definitely I will not share with you the secrets, but our footprints are obvious. I believe we are the first company that registered in the free zone as from this industry of machinery, and then followed by Mantrack and Manal. And I see that you have the appetite. You're welcome. You're more than welcome to Alaro City, definitely. As soon as you join, I believe the main points were shared in this discussion today. The added value of the free zone are shared. Definitely there are challenges that you will always face in any business, which is your obligation as a company to streamline the process and resolve them. That's what I can tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Serge. I think in closing the questions, given the time constraints, I would just like to add from one more question from Madame.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question exactly is on the tax. Like you mentioned that companies that are in the paid zone area, they do not pay company income. What about the transactions that they carry out outside of the free trade zone area? Do they pay company tax as well? As in, you said companies that are on the free zone area, they do not pay company income tax. That is transactions that they carry out in the free zone area. right? Is that correct?
You are correct.
So yes, so but you also mentioned that they can also export outside of the free zone area.
Yomi,
They
can
can
I
also
take
sell
lead?
outside of the free zone area.
I know what you're asking now.
Okay.
I'll let him go, then I'll close it, please.
Okay, first of all, any company that is registered in the free zone are tax exempted, so they are not subjected to company income tax. Whereas in case you need to export to custom territory, it is the end user that will pay the duty and taxes. Definitely any item bringing it out from the free zone city to custom territory, duty has to be paid for it. And the duty is paid by the end user, who is the client. So once the client buys the machine from you, let's say, he's paying the duty, and then definitely on his purchase and depreciation, etc., there will be company income tax. That's very normal.
So, Madam, if I can chime on to that, thank you very much, Serge. So for absolute clarity, all free zone enterprises, that is entities registered in the free zone, all federal, state, and local government tax laws do not apply to them. When a customer comes to you to buy at Alaro City, it is the same as going to Turkey or to China or to India to procure. The tax laws do not apply to the selling entity, the free zone entity. Those goods will end up in the customs territory or elsewhere, and the laws applicable to the purchaser will obtain for the purchaser. The duty on the inputs that came in duty free would be due at the time of leaving the zone and will be paid for by the purchaser, but not by the free zone enterprise. Right? And the enterprise maintains tax-free profits in their business. Neither are they withholding tax when you pay dividends to your shareholders from the free zone entity. Right? Thank you very much. Are you okay with the answer? You file to the free zone manager. Okay, NEPSA, the Nigerian Export Processing Zones Authority, the regulator for the free zone, will be standing side by side with us to keep records of your filings. And any interface, if there is query or interest from the tax authorities, will be through NEPSA. So again, you don't have to interface with the authorities. One more question.
How are companies that operate in the free zone, how are they affected by FX rules?
It's a great question. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. There are no FX controls. There are no foreign exchange controls on companies in the free zone enterprises. So you don't need to seek NOTAP approval. You're also not eligible for the official window. So you're unrestricted. You're free. Your domiciliary accounts are unrestricted. You can transfer dollars within the country or outside of the country as well. And just for the record, for those who have deeper interest, our head of free zone administration is at the back. Mr. Adeta Odore is waving. And so that's the man for more questions for both of you. Yeah. So again, thank you very much. I think it's important to state that for us, our journey, we launched in January 2019. Since then, we have over 65 enterprises, companies that have come on board. That is averaging in excess of one company every 4 weeks. We have over 500 individual investors, mostly in residential. So service plots, about 300 investors, and apartments, about 200 investors. This is an unprecedented take-up for any free zone project in the country, in the history of the free zone regime. It is something we are looking to build upon and to capitalize on for the benefit of our customers. We remain and will always be customer-centric. It is the only way to be successful. We are an enabling platform, and so the success of the businesses you see here and of those of the other free zone enterprises that are in the room is of paramount importance to us. So we see ourselves as your partner, and we believe that anywhere in the world where you have the number of companies that are at Alaro City and grow together in the same place, there will be an explosion of value creation for the benefit of everybody that is there. We have seen a lot of intra-Alaro City and intra-free zone trade already, and we are definitely going to continue to work assiduously to be the home of business in the free zone. So with that, I want to again thank our panelists, and I want to thank all of you as I hand over to Yomi to take us out.
Thank you, Yomi. So Yomi to Yomi. Thank you so once again to all our very, very esteemed panelists. Let's put our hands together once again. And you agree with me that we did justice to everything that was asked and to the subject matter. Thank you so much. We're very, very grateful. Thank you. Please take your seats. Thank you so much. I also want to really, really appreciate this audience. Our audience has been amazing. Let's put our hands together for our audience. Thank you for the energy, the questions, and everything else. It's just to mention that if you would mind, if you don't mind, please oblige us. There's lunch. Lunch will be served shortly at the restaurant. So please do not run off in a hurry. Let's please, wait back, network. If you have further questions you'd like to ask, please feel free. We're all available to take your questions. My job is simple. The rest of my work is simple, and it's just to say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time to be a part of the first of the Alaro City Business Series. Thank you for bringing your questions, bringing your energy, bringing your humor, and obviously we thank especially the Consul General for his very, 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 very timely and very informative perspectives that he shared on manufacturing and the middle class. We also want to thank once again all our panelists for the perspectives that they shared. You'll all agree with me that it was a very enriching experience listening to the experiences of our panelists, all of whom are obviously in Alaro City and have also spoken to the larger free zone regime. So it works, and we encourage as many of you who are also interested in understanding this a bit more to reach out to any of us after the meetings. We're very happy to discuss with you and explain even better as to how the free zone can benefit your business and how you can start off your journey to be one of our citizens here at Alaro City. We'd also like to thank all of those who joined online as well. We thank you for taking the time to also be a part of this series. It's just to mention that everyone who had registered for the series will also be shared, the video will also be shared, and we can definitely afterwards, if you want to refer to that, please feel free. We'd also like to thank our friends from the Lekki Port for their presentation. Ray and members of the team from the Lekki Port, we thank you as well. And once again, as we break for lunch, as we move for the lunch, please, if you have any further questions or you'd like to discuss with Lekki Port team, they'll also be very available over lunch for discussions. I'd like to once again just reiterate one or two things that our managing director has said, and that's just the fact that we as Alaro City are a partner in progress. We're very keen on the progress of each and every one of the FZEs that have signed up with us today, and we look forward to welcoming many more to Alaro City. It's unprecedented what we've been able to do and achieve in such a short time, but we're even more confident that with more partnerships and even with the support of establishments, institutions, and persons like the Consul General and many others, that as they say, the sky is not our limit, but it's just our starting point. On that note, once again, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you all. And on that note, we bring this business series, the first edition, to a close. I would ask that you just please put your hands together for yourselves, and thank you once again for your time. So officially we're closed, but then we're now opening up, for networking and lunch, which will be happening at, just outside. We have ladies just at the back who will direct the flow, right? So, sorry? All right. So lunch is served where we had breakfast earlier, and for those of you who were not here for breakfast, please just follow the ladies at the back. They'll direct you as to the flow, as to how the movement will be. Just before we leave the hall, I'll just ask that we just take one more picture in front. You sure? Okay. All right. So lunch is served. Let's feel free. So just networking. No, let's just have speak. If you have any questions to ask. Obviously, we'll have members of the team also around. If you want to learn a bit more about Alaro City, they'll be very happy to speak with you. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Now you have all the